Are you interested to know what's happened in the market this week? And do you want to know what's going to happen next week as well? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss the news that impacted our stock portfolio this week and what we know will happen next week that may impact the market as well. Hello and welcome. I'm Wayne from WES Investments, bringing you stock market news, portfolio updates and training on this channel. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So in this video, we're going to go over any changes to our stock portfolio before going on to the news that has impacted the following stocks: Tesla, NIO, Alibaba, Amazon, Disney, Nvidia, Games Workshop, Bellway, followed by what we know is going to happen next week. First of all, portfolio changes. Now, you may notice that JD Sports is missing from that list. I've been slowly closing down my JD Sports positions over the past couple of weeks. That last position was closed on Tuesday morning. Most of those funds have been moved over to Bellway or NIO. I'm expecting Bellway to stay fairly stagnant or climb slightly up until around the start of August, because I think that once UK house prices start to show a incline, we should start to get a climb from the stock. And once official house data comes out, I expect it to pop a bit more. Now, obviously, due to the recent pandemic, Bellway has not been able to build houses for a good chunk of time. So that will impact their earnings. So that will limit the immediate effect. However, I believe over the next 6 to 12 months, we should be talking about a considerable uptick. For NIO, due to eToro's rules, I am limited on how much I can invest in Tesla. I can only have a maximum of 20% of my initial investment within Tesla. The closest company to Tesla is NIO. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Tesla and NIO are by any way near the same company, but NIO's the closest. They make electric cars with their own self-driving technology, and they are very much focused on the technical side of the cars. Future cars are going to be very tech heavy, and NIO is one of the few car companies that is actually focusing on that technology. I believe NIO and Tesla will become two of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. So starting with Tesla, at market close last night, which was Wednesday, the share price was 1,592. Now obviously earnings were reported last night, which has given post-market and then pre-market prices quite a boost. And Tesla is currently showing as 1,675, which is a 5.2% boost off of the closing last night, which obviously is very good. So at its market close last night, that puts Tesla up at 41.66%. Now, you may well know Tesla had their earnings call last night and have announced a fourth consecutive quarter in the green, with a profit, which paves the way for them to potentially be going onto the Nasdaq. They also announced their delivery numbers, which was 5% down on the same quarter last year. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, they had their big main factory in the US was closed for a significant part of that quarter. So really, really great results. The Model 3 was launched in a very big computer game in the US called Game of Peace. The Boring Company have announced that they will be using the Model S, X and 3 in the LA Hyperloop. The Science Channel has a new series on mega factories. Episode 1 is inside the Tesla Gigafactory, and Tesla have also announced a huge increase in referrals for solar roofs. Moving on to the hugely volatile NIO, Market closed last night at 12.35, which is up a massive 56.73% of this month so far. Now, obviously, we haven't seen all of those gains, and we did manage to get in a few extra positions later in the month, which were probably at quite high prices. However, I am still fairly confident that they will come back into the green quite soon. Now, in the news so far this week, we had Goldman Sachs, who there was quite a lot of media attention for the fact that they released a sell rating on NEO. However, what actually happened was a few months ago, Goldman Sachs gave NEO a price rating of 7. They had a buy for the stock when last month in June, towards the end of June, where it reached 7, they then downgraded it to a neutral because obviously it had reached the price. Now that it's gone over 7, their viewpoint hasn't changed, so that's why they've given it a sell rating. It's just because of the fact that it's gone over that 7 point. So it's not that they think something has changed with the company and that it's no good. It is simply just because of the fact that it's over that initial price target that they had. And NEO have also announced that they have now reached 800 million kilometers driven in NEO vehicles. Now, considering this is a company who only really sells in China, that's pretty amazing, really, for such a small startup company. Moving on to Alibaba, market closed last night, the price was 252, which is up about 17% so far this month. Now, Alibaba has had a lot of different news that may not necessarily be directly linked to the company. First of all, the EV maker, Xpeng, I don't know if I've said that right, but that's XPENG, raised 500 million. And the reason that that's important is because the company is backed by Alibaba. And you may remember last week I was saying about Ant Group potentially having an IPO. That's now been confirmed. And we also have news of Starbucks is going to be offering coffees on the Alibaba app. Moving on to Amazon. At market close last night, the price was 3097, which puts the company up 7.8% so far this month. A couple of important stories about Amazon so far this week. Goldman Sachs have raised their price target, and that's up to 3,800, so quite another jump there. They've announced that exporters from India selling on Amazon have exported over $2 billion worth of products. And we also had news about their new shopping trolleys that have sensors built in so that their customers don't need to physically scan products. Moving on to Disney. Market closed last night, the price was 118, and that's a climb of 5.4% this month. And you may remember me saying last week about the parks that were open. So all the Disney World parks, and that's the Florida ones, are now open. However, Paris is now open and Hong Kong is now shut. So in Hong Kong, the hotels are apparently still open. However, the parks are closed due to new case rises in Hong Kong itself. And in the Disneyland in California, we're told that the parks are still closed. However, the downtown shopping area is now open. So that means that people can go to the restaurants and the shops there, but just not the actual physical park. And we're told that the park there is closed until at least the 9th of August because other people before that have had their bookings, they've had the chance to change their bookings or had it cancelled. In the Disney parks, in the shops, they have released a welcome back range, which has proven very popular and is already selling on eBay for a considerable markup. The new 65th anniversary merchandise has also been released. Customers were waiting online, joining online queues for hours, and the merchandise quickly ended up on eBay, but much of it has already sold out. There's been lots more speculation about Mulan and when that's going to be released. However, reports from the Hollywood Reporter state that they do not believe that any films will be released until next year due to the fact that the cinemas being closed or having limited capacity. There has, however, been an official delay with The Hawk and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus, with no updated release date. Netflix has also announced another push into India. Moving on to Nvidia. At market close last night, the price was 416, and that's up 9.5% so far this month. So this week, Nvidia has announced that their GeForce RTX 3000 series will be starting production next month, with media events to start pushing around September. LG have also released the world's first 4G gaming monitor, which is Nvidia G-Sync compatible. It is also believed that Nvidia has shown some interest in ARM, which is a UK-based chip maker, Games Workshop. So at close last night, Games Workshop price was about 8,410, which makes Games Workshop our worst performer so far this month at an increase of 2.4%. And in the news this week for Games Workshop, we had the Necromunda Underhive Wars, which is a computer game, released more information on their game concepts. For the miniatures themselves, Adaptus Titanicus models and expansion were released. There was also a Warhammer 40,000 app that's been announced as well. Bellway. So Bellway's price at market close yesterday was 2,674, which puts us up around 6%. And news this week for Bellway, Citigroup has reinstated a price of 3,535. And a quick look through other analysts' prices for Bellway. We have the lowest from Peel Hunt, which is 2,750, and the highest being from HSBC, which is 4,150. Now, what do we know that's happening next week? Now, all times that I say here are for UK timings, which is GMT +1. On Monday at 9 a.m. UK time in Germany, the IFO business data for July will be released. At 13:30 USA, durable goods orders for June. On Tuesday at 1500, which is 3 p.m. USA, again, consumer confidence in July. Moving on to Wednesday, you have at 09:30 UK mortgage data, which on the face of it would be quite important to us for Bellway. However, it is the approvals and lending in June. And obviously that's still for much of the UK COVID time. So chances are we're probably not going to see very good data there anyway. And at 1900, which is 7 p.m. in the USA again, a Fed interest rate decision. So obviously again, this is something that will impact the whole wider market. On Thursday at 0700 hours, Nationwide, which is a UK building society, will be releasing July housing prices, and that will be really important for Bellway. Throughout the day, there will also be various European data being released, and that will show the recovery stages of different European countries. Again, all of this will have a very big impact on the wider market. And at 13:30, which is 1:30, the USA will release GDP growth rates in Q2 compared to Q1. On Friday at 0200, so 2 a.m. in the morning in China, the NBS manufacturing PMI data for July will be released. Again, we're then going to see more European data regarding GDP, inflation, and retail sales. And then at 13:30 in the USA, core PCE price index year on year for June. And this is how the Fed measures inflation. On the 31st of July, we are also expecting end of year results for Games Workshop. That will obviously likely be after market close. So being a Friday, we're not going to see the impact on the share price until Monday. Bellway also have their end of year on the 31st of July. However, I'm not sure that we'll get an announcement from them regarding that until mid-August. And the following week, specifically on the 4th of August, we will have Disney's earnings. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments or tips on what I could do better in this video, please make sure to comment below and let me know. See you in my next video.